I don't speak about lore with as much depth, but it feels even to me like
What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Brad Walker, and welcome to the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. Yes, guys, it has moved to Friday nights. I am going to do this show from here on out on Friday nights instead of Monday. So the Sports Nerd will be on 2 nights in a row on Thursday, and then, of course, on Friday night. But guys, welcome in. Hopefully, everyone out there is having a good Friday, and it is Good Friday. Hopefully, anyone out there that celebrates Easter, happy Easter. From me and the NGSC Sports Network. Real quick, guys, again, we're to the weekend, so hopefully everyone's staying safe out there and everything else. But, guys, the Sunshine State Sports Jabber is part of NGSC Sports. Guys, remember the website. It's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. And hang on just a second, guys, because my show, guys, is sponsored by arenaeats.app. Let's see, guys. I don't have my. Hang on just a second. Let me. For all your favorite sports venue, mobile eats, arenaeats.app, mobile delivery, seat pickup. Always remember to arenaeats.app. I know that is not the correct way to say that. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me see if I can find that. I thought that I had it down, and I do not have it down. So let me see something real quick. Hang on just a second here, guys. If I can go back, maybe I have a copy of it from some show notes. I want to make sure that I get the sponsor correct here, guys. Hang on just a second here. Let me go back in here and see if I have an old show notes from an older show. Real quick, guys. Sorry about that. I mean, kind of getting off to a interesting start. This will be my second Friday that I've done this. But again, guys, it will be permanently on this evening. I have decided to move it to Friday. Actually, I had someone suggested to me that I should move it to Friday. So that is that, guys. Yeah, let me see if these show notes are from a Monday show. Let's see here real quick, guys. I just want to make sure I get this right. And get the sponsor in here real quick, because they treat us very, very well at NGSC. So let me see here. Yes. Okay. Yes. And we're sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on the website again, arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venues. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and Eats delivery. How do you place your order? I just wanted to get that right, guys. I will be reading that more throughout the show as well. But again, thank you guys for popping on here with me on Friday night. So again, guys, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get into the show here. First up, guys, I'm going to talk about the National Football League, and we'll start with the boys from Duval County in Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, of course, as the draft is later on this month, we all pretty much know that the Jacksonville Jaguars are probably going to draft one Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson. I caught an article by Demetrius Harvey about how he compares to all the other number one overall quarterbacks. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you guys. I thought this was a very interesting article that I caught this afternoon. Trevor Lawrence currently is at 6'5", 200. I'm sorry, maybe not 6'5". He weighs 213 pounds. He was 38-2 overall in his career, 10,098 passing yards with a complete percentage of 66.6%, 90 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Last year's number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow, weighed in at 221 pounds. He was 25-3 in his career. He threw for 8,852 yards with a 68.8% complete percentage, 78 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Kyler Murray, who went to the Arizona Cardinals in 2019, it weighs in at 207 pounds. He was 24-5. He threw for 5,406 yards with a 67.4% completion percentage, 50 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Baker Mayfield, he also weighed in at 215 pounds, 39-9. He threw for 14,607 yards with a 68.5% completion percentage, 131 touchdowns, and only 30 picks. Jared Goff, 215 pounds. He was 14-23, threw for 12,195 yards, 62.3% completion percentage, 96 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Jameis Winston, 231 pounds. He was 26-1, 7,964 yards, 66% completion percentage, 65 touchdowns, and 28 interceptions. So, again, it looks pretty good for Trevor Lawrence. That's definitely something that we can look forward to. Joe Burrow, guys, obviously, if you guys did not know, was injured last season, tore his ACL and MCL midway through the season. So we'll have to see how he comes out this season, if he is able to play sometime this year. And then, of course, Kyler Murray is leading a very good Arizona Cardinal team that is, I think, going all in, picking up J.J. Watt. So that should be interesting on there. Baker Mayfield had a good season. The Browns broke their playoff drought last year. Jared Goff now has moved to Detroit, so that should be a new venture for him. And Jameis Winston just signed a 1-year contract with the New Orleans Saints after being with the Bucs. So I really think, in all reality, that the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, I think might be one of the best in that group of guys that I just mentioned. Baker Mayfield may be the only exception to that, but I would think the rest of them are all pretty comparable. But Trevor Lawrence, I think, again, if given the right offensive line, which I think the Jaguars are going to do, given the right weapons, this team can be very, very good in 2021. I think this team can be very, very good. So yeah, I mean, I would go with it. I think that's going to, obviously that's going to be the first overall pick. No doubt in, I think, anybody's mind, the Jaguars are not going to pick Trevor Lawrence at number 1. Now, ESPN's one of their draft guys in Todd McShay. He thinks the Jaguars should go all offense in the first 2 rounds. Of course, number 1 overall pick. We just talked about him. He thinks they should go offensive tackle Tavon Jenkins at 25 via the Los Angeles Rams. The Jaguars pick again 8 picks later with the original second-round pick, and now they've locked up their quarterback of the future and someone to protect his blind side. And that's very important for a rookie quarterback. It's not exactly the biggest position of need, as DJ Chark continues to be quite productive early in his career despite uncertainty and instability at the quarterback position. So, again, there would be something right there, an offensive tackle. The 33rd overall pick, he predicts them to pick Tutu Atwell, the wide receiver out of Louisville. Another weapon. Atwell was a big weapon, one of the best in the ACC a year ago. And, again, that would help Chark a lot, taking the pressure off of him maybe with the cornerbacks. The 45th pick, he has them taking a tight end in Pat Furmont, the tight end out of Penn State. That's another person another offensive weapon that the Jacksonville Jaguars can add and give to Trevor Lawrence to begin the season. And that's what you want to do with young quarterbacks, guys. You guys all know that. You want to build, give them weapons, give them a good offensive line, and they will be productive. If it doesn't go that way, well, then you see what, can likely happen. You could end up with, an injured quarterback or something along those lines. So that would be different. But then again, we'll see how the draft is. If you guys want to, my other podcast, The Walker Report, which is on Thursday nights, the night of the draft, guys, we are going to do a live review. The three of us are going to do a live review of the first round. So we're going to do a live review, guys, of the first round. So be ready for that. Hang on just a second, guys. I got to move this a little bit closer to me. There we go. We're going to be doing a live first round pick by pick scenario on that show. So we'll go ahead and let you guys know when that show will happen. But that is that. So let me go ahead, guys, now and move down south with the boys who call Miami home, and that is the Miami Dolphins, who do not have Ryan Fitzpatrick. He signed with the Washington football team, so he is no longer with them. But one of the weapons that they did give Tua Tagovailoa is one William Fuller, formerly with the Houston Texans. He definitely will help this offense. He signed a one-year, $10.625 million deal with another $3 million in incentives. Again, this will be a big weapon for Tua in this offense next year. The Dolphins were, again, guys, the Dolphins, if you are not a fan, if you are a fan, and you know this team was one win away from being in the playoffs. They lost to the Buffalo Bills in Week 17. And, and that was it. That was all she wrote. And they lost that, and they finished the season 10-6. That's amazing that this team has gotten that good, and they're going to only get better. Brian Flores has them in the right direction. Tua obviously is their guy. I know, again, I've been talking weeks before about the possible of getting one Deshaun Watson, but I think until we hear about what's going on, there's a lot of smoke around him right now. I don't know if the Dolphins take a risk and trade away Tua and company to bring him here, to bring him to Florida. I don't really know, guys. That I don't know. I don't know if the Dolphins will be willing to do that. I think Tua is their guy. They wouldn't have moved up, 5th overall to pick him last year. So they have Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and Preston Williams, along with William Fuller as the wide receiver tandem this year in Miami. Now, again, guys, this team was moved up in the draft. They moved down. They were actually in the 3rd spot. They then moved down after they traded with the 49ers to move down to 12, and they moved back up to 6 with the trade to the Philadelphia Eagles, which put the Eagles back to 12. So here are some of the options that the Miami Dolphins would have at picking at 6. So let's see here. Jamar Chase would be one of those guys that they could pick out of LSU. He would be one. Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of Florida. Penei Sewell, another one that could likely be like Devontae Smith, which I think is probably one of the highest because, again, Smith knows Tua with their playing days at Alabama. Jalen Waddle's another one that they could possibly go and get. So, again, those are just some of the names, guys, that the Miami Dolphins could pick at 6. Again, just like a year ago, guys, the Dolphins have a lot of draft picks. Again, this is the 2nd year in a row the Dolphins have loaded up, and look what it did last year for them. I'm just saying, look what it did last year for the Miami Dolphins. Let's hope that the positive stuff that has come out of last year continues for the Dolphins, as the Buffalo Bills obviously won the division a year ago. The New England Patriots, spent almost every dollar free agency to make that team better. They know the Patriots are on the rise. The Jets may be the only team in the division right now that may be the only one that might be out of it altogether for now, but the Jets will be there sooner or later. So You'll have to wait and see, guys. I'm just going to say this. It's right now, I think it's between Miami and Buffalo until we see what the Patriots have with all these free agents that they have signed. We'll have to wait and see. And again, the Patriots, I think, are still going to draft a quarterback, I think, as well. I would not be surprised one bit if that's who they go after. But again, I will keep you guys covered in case the Deshaun Watson thing does go down, as I promised you guys I would. The next stop, guys, would be in Tampa, not too far from me. And this is the defending Super Bowl champions. Now, again, if you did not hear, the Buccaneers have gotten every free agent re-signed outside of one Antonio Brown. But one of the key cogs of their defense was nose tackle Vita Vea, who came in at the end of the season. He was hurt early on. The Buccaneers did pick up his fifth-year option. Veta was the 12th overall pick in 2018, signed a 4-year deal worth $14.8 million and was fully guaranteed. The 26-year-old is set to earn $4.7 million in 2021, and his fifth-year option is between $7.3 and $7.6 million. This guy, to me, guys, the reason why Shaq Barrett and JPP are so well is because this young man eats up the middle of everyone's offensive line. This defense is not the same without Vita Vea being there and stuff like that. This is something like that I think was very big. I think he's going to get paid. I think he might be, if they don't franchise tag him next year, he definitely will be getting paid next year. Again, we all know the cap will go back up with the new TV revenue money coming in. So every team will have a way of signing some of their free agents. I know Chris Godwin's another one, guys, that got franchise tagged this year. Don't be surprised if he doesn't get paid next year as well with Vita Vea. But Vita Vea is back, guys. And I think he's a big key in that thing. Push the pocket. He helped the Bucs defense record 5 sacks against the Packers and 3 against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead, guys, and talk about Tom Brady. Yes, guys, he did have knee surgery during the offseason, and GM Jason Light has said everything is going well for him. So again, like that, I talked to him last week. I know things are going well. I don't want to put any exact timeline on it, but it looks pretty good for him. Brady could be ready for 7-on-7 work by June. And again, guys, we're only 2 months away from that. Brady was last month on Instagram. He posted by Fred throwing a football to David Beckham on the beach. Brady was wearing his unusual left knee sleeve in the video. So, guys, he did have some knee surgery, I think, to clean the knee up. When he was with the New England Patriots, of course, he had his knee get messed up pretty badly. That season, the Patriots lost him. Still went 11-5 with Ryan Mount and missed the playoffs that year. So the Bucs right now don't have a backup quarterback other than, of course, Blaine Gabbert. So now the next thing is this the time to draft the future quarterback after Tom hangs it up? And a lot of people may be thinking quarterback Ian Book out of Notre Dame. Now, guys, if you don't watch Notre Dame football, a lot of people don't like the Irish. I got a chance to watch Notre Dame this year play USF. So I got to see Ian Book. And the Irish got to the Final Four. They were one of the Final Four teams this year in the playoff picture. They lost to Clemson, obviously, but they were in the Final Four again. They had beat the Tigers earlier in the year, they beat the Tigers, and then now they find themselves a little bit, but again, would Ian Book fit very, very well in Bruce Arians' offense? In my opinion, I think he would fit well. He is a little bit mobile. He is a pocket passer as well. I think he would fit well if they do decide to go to Ian Book as the heir apparent to Brady here. Again, guys, if you do not know, the Buccaneers have never had a franchise quarterback. There has never been a quarterback that they have drafted has ever gotten to a second contract. There have been extensions on first-year contracts, but have never gone to the second. Remember, guys, Jameis Winston was on a fifth-year option. They let him go in replace of Tom Brady, and his team went on to win the Super Bowl a year ago. So again, they've never had a franchise quarterback. Is Ian Book that franchise quarterback? Guys, I don't know. I'm not saying that he is. He would be a very good option, though, if they decide to go with him. I can't see why that would be a bad thing. I really honestly cannot see why that would be, a bad thing for the Buccaneers to go that route. Again, he has just held their pro day on Wednesday. Book, who threw for those in attendance, Book ran the 40-yard dash in 4.59. He had a 32.5 vertical jump, 9.7 broad jump, and 4.13 second in a 20-yard shuffle, 6.7 seconds in a three-cone drill, and did not do any bench presses. So that would be something to, again, would have to see how would Ian Book fit into this offense in Tampa Bay. That, to me, I don't really know. But I think he would be a reliable option. He would be somebody out there that I don't think a lot of people are looking at. But then again, we'll have to wait and see how that all goes out. Because I don't know. That I don't know. Let me go ahead and bring on one of my co-hosts for my Thursday show. Hey, Lewis, how are you?
Hey, Riley, how are you? It's nice to be on this show.
Good to have you on. Good to have you on.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead now. I'm going to jump to some USFL soccer. The Rowdies are getting ready to start their season. I think they kick off in May, so we're about a month away from them kicking off.
Thank God.
This is a sport that I have never seen in person, and I don't work too far away from their stadium. I'd like to go see them play. This is not Major League Soccer or anything like that. This is not the same league, but the
league is it?
The USL is the
United League. Right.
Yeah.
Remember, read the back pages.
Yeah, the Rowdies were in the championship game last year, but again, it got canceled because of COVID. But they were in the champ. They won their division last year. So, and I think they brought everyone back. Everyone that they brought that they was a free agent. They've signed to bring them back.
Yes.
So they're all back this year. So the Rowdies should be ready to go. I'm hoping to get to a game this year, if again, depending on how many fans are allowed.
How many fans are allowed in stadiums in your area anyway?
The Rays open next Friday against the Yankees at Tropicana Field. I think they're allowing 10,000 fans.
Same with us. 10,000 fans.
10,000 fans allowed. I don't know. They are allowing, I think, like 3,500 at Amalie Arena for the Raptors and the Lightning. So I don't know if that's going to go up because I heard as of Monday, everybody above the age of 16 can go get vaccines. So they're already moving to get everyone vaccinated in Florida. So I don't know how much longer we'll have before stadiums are now filled back up, or at least 75%.
A year.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see 75% come college football time in August. I would think that would be reliable. I don't know. It just depends on where the
60%. I think about 60% might do. 75 might be pushing a little bit.
I would be happy with 60. I mean, I wouldn't have an issue having 60%.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fine. I mean, it at least would get fans in the stands, because when it comes to, college sports in particular, it's you got to have fans. Those kids depend on fans. Pros, yes, they do care about fans, but for the most part, they don't need them as bad as, say, as bad as the college kids need them. Need them there.
High school too.
High school too, yeah. So this is Tim Kirchin's article off of ESPN.com, and he was talking about the Miami Marlins. Here's the quote that he's giving: "The young pitching in this rotation is electrifying, led by Sixto Sanchez, and now everyone knows one another. Last year, the COVID-19 stricken Marlins used 9 different starting pitchers and 27 different pitchers overall in the first 9 games. Don Mattingly said it was traveling only slightly. First time he's ever met one of his pitchers was on the mound during a pitching change. Let's just say that was where the least 4 pitchers that had zero idea what we get. And then again, I guess another thing too. I guess they called their new stadium one of the most ridiculous names for a stadium. The new Marlins Stadium is called Lone Depot Park.
What?
Yeah, that's what the new sponsor for that stadium down in Miami is. Derek Jeter announced the move on Wednesday. It's the company's an 11-year-old mortgage company. So, but it's called Lone Depot is what it's called. So, this is the article that I got this off of. Came off the New York. I think it was the New York Times. I think is where I got this article.
Very well respected. Very well for the paper.
Making fun of it. The company will donate $25 for every regular season RBI to the Boys and Girls Club of America, plus $250 per RBI on opening day. Which, guess what, guys? If you didn't watch, the Marlins had 0 runs in their first game. So there you go.
No,
they lost 1-0 to the Rays yesterday. And let's see where they're at now. Let's check the scoreboard real quick and see where exactly they stand. Let's see here. Let's see where that game is located.
Oh, they didn't get the day off?
No, they're playing. It's 2-0, 2-0 Rays in the bottom of the 7th. Yeah, it's 2-0 Rays right now in the bottom.
It's not uncommon at the day off after an opening day game.
Yes, I know. Normally they do. They normally have a day in between games 1 and game 2. Right. I know that.
Some people don't, but I do.
Yeah. They now Tim Kirchin mentioned in his article about the Rays that Wander Franco, who is their top prospect. He said he should see some playing time this year for the Tampa Bay Rays. So we'll see if he does that.
Okay, what happened here?
Sorry about that. I left them. My fault. But yeah, he did predict that Wander Franco would get some playing time this year, and the top Louis Adames said he cannot wait to play with the kids. So we'll have to wait and see.
So what happened? What just happened though?
Well, he was up here during spring training. He's never.
No, you.
Oh, I think I hit the back button by accident. That's out of here by accident.
For the blooper reel, folks.
My fault. Yeah, technical difficulty there. Yeah. The Rays are off to a good start. They won 1-0 yesterday. They're up 2-0, guys, through 7. This is a team, guys, I believe that will be. I think they'll finish second behind the Yankees. I think the Yankees are the more better team in the AL East. I don't think the Blue Jays have enough right now.
No.
This year to overtake Tampa Bay in that second position. But I think the Blue Jays will be in third. I think it's going to be the Yankees, Rays, Jays, Red Sox, and the Orioles will be last, even though Baltimore beat the Red Sox today 3-0. So the Orioles will be the team, I think, again, that's still in that rebuilding function that they are down there, or in Baltimore, excuse me. So they'll be doing that this year. All right, guys, and once again, my Sunshine State Sports Jabber is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and eat seat delivery. How do you place your order? All right, guys, let's go ahead now, and we are going to now jump to, I believe, let's see, who I have up here next on my. Let's go to the National Basketball Association. We'll start with the Toronto Raptors, who are still playing in Tampa, guys. I don't think they are allowed to go back to Canada quite yet, so Canada opens up. Though, Lewis, I think I did see something the other day that the Blue Jays could possibly play in Toronto later this year. They're talking about possibly moving the travel ban or opening the border from Canada to the United States open again. Let's see here real quick. The Raptors did win today 130-77 over the Golden State Warriors. So let's see what.
Well, keep in mind, Curry did not play that game.
Curry did not. I was going to say what. Let's see something here. Let's see what were the stats. Looks like Pascal Siakam had Siakam 36.7 rebounds, 5 assists. He was the well, when you have Andrew Wiggins as your leading scorer, you know that's not very. I mean, I know Wiggins was there now because they've had some injuries and stuff like that. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the other team. I'm thinking of the Lakers. My fault. The Raptors shot 53% overall, 42% from the three-point line, 84% from the free throw line. That's pretty good. Yeah. They had 12 turnovers. They had 53 rebounds, 43 on the defensive boards, 10 on offense. That's not bad either.
But you do got to lower the turnovers a little bit. 12 is a lot.
12 turnovers is a lot. It looks like. Yeah, well, and Golden State had 21. Oh, Jesus.
Even worse.
They had 21 turnovers in the game. It looks like you had Trent Jr. He was the second leading scorer. He had 30 points in the game for the Raptors. So, again, I mean, let me ask you this question, Lewis. This team was in what? They won the championship 2 years ago, right? They won it in 2019.
Yes.
They won the NBA title. I don't even see this team making the playoffs. Do you? Do you see Toronto even getting in?
No, I don't. This is not the same team that won the championship 2 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, they had a fire sale. Everybody left. And, you know, when Leonard, that was the end of that right there. I mean, Leonard carried that team into the championship 2019. And then bolted out of it, and they've never been the same since.
Yeah.
I mean, they went from worst to first. They went from champ to chump in 1 year.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I mean, it's normal for a team not to, be at the same level as, the previous year winning the championship. I mean, it's because repeating is kind of hard to do. There have been some cases, though, not just with basketball, but in all sports, where one team is so great the first year and win the championship, and then the next year, they crash. Well, of course, I have a simple term for that. And I call it championship hangover. I mean, that's,
Well, yeah. I mean, no doubt about that. I think what happens is you get that adrenaline rush of winning a title, and then you're like, okay, we can do this again next year. And then all of a sudden, first couple games, you go, we're not as good as we were a year ago.
Oh, we suck.
Yeah, we suck, exactly. So we're not playing as well as we thought we were going to be playing. So I mean, Toronto is 19-30 this year, and they're 10-12 at Amalie Arena in Tampa. So that's not very good. Not good at all this year. All right, so let's move down to South.
Although with the Warriors, they lost. They won the year, but then after their key players got hurt, that was the end of that.
Oh yeah, no doubt, yeah. Well, then they lost. I mean, I don't know how important Kevin Durant was to their title run, but they've never been
very important. Sure.
Since Durant's left. they haven't been the same team,
It was on my side.
Yeah. I mean, you have, of course, Steph, and you have Draymond Green and company, but they just have not been the same team as they were.
No.
As they were when KD was there, and now he's in Brooklyn. But so let's see about the Miami Heat, who are 25-24 on a 3-game winning streak.
Not bad.
So let's see here where the Heat stand currently. Again, they're first in the Southeast Division. Okay. Well, that's good. So let's see their last 3 games.
Okay.
They have beat the Knicks 98-88 back on Monday. Wednesday, they beat the Pacers 92-87, and they also beat the Warriors on Thursday. So yesterday, when our show was on, they beat the Warriors 116-109 with Jimmy Butler was the leading scorer with 22 points. And he also led in assists? Yes, assists, 8. And then so they currently see now. I think the opposite with the Miami Heat. I think this team is a playoff team. In my opinion, this team could make the playoffs. I don't know how far they're going to go. This team was in the championship game a year ago against the Lakers.
Yes.
And took it to 6 games, but then ran out of gas. I think when it was all said and done. So I think the Miami Heat can get back to the playoffs. I don't know if they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I think
not.
Can at least make the postseason. Might be the only team in the state of Florida in basketball that makes it, because the Magic sure aren't going to make it. I don't think Toronto is either. No. So I think Miami is the team that's going to, make it out of the state of Florida and
kind of when Orlando and Miami first went into the league. I mean, they were pathetic.
They were, yes.
They were horrible. I remember when they first opened up. Yes, folks, I'm that old. So I remember when they first went. This team was. These teams were pathetic. I mean, really.
Well, I know the Magic really haven't been good, Lewis, since Shaq and Penny Hardaway left. The Magic haven't been that good at all. Since those two guys both left and went off to greener pastures.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see where the Magic I know they won the other day. Where they stand right now. I know the last time I had checked their stats, they were, I think, near the bottom of the division, which they got in the playoffs. They got in the playoffs last year as well, but they got beat in the first round by Milwaukee. Of course, they won the first game, I think, which shocked everybody.
Yes.
I think we thought they were going to get swept by the Bucks, but somehow, some way, they were able to win game 1 and prolong the series to 5 games.
Yeah.
The Magic are 17-31, and they're 5th in the Southeast Division, which means they're dead last. Yes. Now they are on a 2-game winning streak, so let's see.
Big deal.
Yeah, let's see what their last 2 games have been. But yeah, this is
1 2-game streak. Big whoop.
Yeah, they beat the Clippers 103-96 on Tuesday, and yesterday they beat the Zion-less Pelicans 115-110 in overtime.
Yep.
So then they have their next game is against the top team in the Western Conference in the Utah Jazz in Utah tomorrow. So good luck to the Magic on that one, because that's going to be a tough matchup when you get to the Utah Jazz tomorrow. In Utah.
Death.
Yeah, in Utah. I wish them the best of luck there.
Yeah, you're going to need it.
Yeah. Well, being that they don't have Aaron Gordon anymore, he's gone. He's been traded. They've traded away a lot of all their good players. They got.
That's the problem. How do you expect it to be competitive if you trade all your good players? How do you expect to be competitive?
Yep.
You can't. You could try, but you probably will fail.
I was gonna say you're going to fail in that case. We can move to the ice. Now, here's one of the top teams in hockey in the Florida Panthers. This is a team that has surprised me this year.
Yeah.
So they, so far, again, this is a team that, I wish that for the Lightning's perspective, we could play them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because this supposedly, if you are from my state, this is supposed to be a rivalry. We've never had a rivalry with them. We never played them in the playoffs. Yes, they're our in-state rival. Yes, they've been our division rival forever. Forever, this team has been our division rival.
Correct.
But some seasons, some seasons these teams, they play well. Other seasons they're bad. I can say this for traveling down to Sunrise, which is just north of Miami. When the Lightning are there, and if the Panthers are playing well, you'll see a lot of Panther fans in the BB&T Center. But if not, there's more Lightning fans there. So it just depends on on where they show up. Now, the last time I checked, Florida, I think, was tied for first. They are first in the Central Division with the Lightning.
Right.
So they still are tied with them with 52 points. The Panthers are 24-9-4 on the year. And I believe they won last night over the Red Wings, I think 3-2 in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look. I remember Adam was talking about that the Red Wings had just tied the game up late in the game, and I think I happened to look at the scoreboard real quick. Yeah, it was 3-2 in overtime.
You mean last night's game?
Last night's game, yeah. They won
just the end. Just the end of the show. And my Rangers pulled off a miracle. Ugh.
Yes, and they won it. Did they win in overtime too over Buffalo?
They did, thank God.
Over Buffalo? Yeah.
Yes. How do you get away with 3 seconds to go? You know that reminds me of, though, don't you?
Go ahead.
Game 7, May 25th, 1994. 7 seconds to go between the Devils and the Rangers. A chance to go to the Stanley Cup final. They tied the game up with 7. I'm like, oh no, give me a break. I gotta get rolling tomorrow, you dirty dog. Oh. So I tried to sleep it off, and that didn't happen. So I had to turn my radio on to listen for it. And then I hear in the background from Howie Rose, like, sure, Matto. Yes, we got it. Oh boy. But that's a double overtime.
Oh, double overtime. There you go. Double over. Well, those are always good. Anything beyond the first overtime, because if you guys don't know, there is no shootout in the playoffs. The NHL does not do shootouts in the playoffs. So
this was before the shootout was invented, though.
Yeah. Oh, yes, and that's true. Also, yeah. So they changed the rules. The next 2 games for Florida are at home tomorrow and Sunday against the Blue Jackets. So they're at home, and then the Panthers go on the road to play the Hurricanes next Tuesday and Thursday in Carolina. So those are our next 4 games. And again, if Florida can stick with it, they probably will be seeing the Lightning in the postseason somewhere down the road. They'll be meeting each other. Maybe
the Carolina Hurricanes are not really born the Carolina Hurricanes.
They were the Hartford Whalers before
That's right.
Yep, they were Hartford. Yeah,
that's them all.
Just like the Colorado Avalanche were not the Colorado Avalanche; they were the Quebec Nordiques. So and then who was the Winnipeg Jets were not the Winnipeg Jets; they were the Atlanta Thrashers who moved out of Atlanta.
This is the second incarnation of the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, the first one was born there,
right? Correct.
Yeah, the first one was born there, but they moved to Colorado. But then came this offspring, which is now the present Winnipeg Jets. Yeah. And they're still
the city of Atlanta has lost 2 hockey teams, both to Canada. The Flames went to Calgary, and then now the Thrashers moved back to Winnipeg to become the second coming of the Jets. So yes, if no one knows that, but yeah, if no one knows that, that's what happened to the.
You're still awful.
Yeah. Well, Winnipeg's not bad this year. Winnipeg hasn't been that bad this year. The other team, guys, obviously, is the Lightning, who are the defending Stanley Cup champions. Yep. They're 25-9-2 this year. Again, they are tied with the Panthers. The Hurricanes are only 1 point out with 51 points. So they're on the verge there of there. I know the Lightning ended a 3-game losing streak last night. Prior to winning, they won 3-2 last night over the Columbus Blue Jackets. And now they get the Red Wings tomorrow and Sunday at home at Amalie Arena. And are you ready for this? Here's the drop of the puck the next 2 days, guys. The Lightning play tomorrow at 1 p.m. And on Sunday, Easter Sunday, they play at noon. What a puck drop. At noon. At 12 o'clock on yeah, that's going to be interesting on Easter Sunday to be playing a hockey game at noon. And that's on NBC, guys. The Thursday Sunday game is on NBC. Real quick, did you guys see that there's a new sports network called Bally Sports Network?
Heard of it?
Yeah, the Lightning and the Rays are both on down here in Florida. I don't know what the stretch of it goes, if it goes up the East Coast.
Probably it's national. I think it's only in your area.
Yeah, I know down here it's just strictly
wait, say the name of Bally's, you said?
Yeah, Bally's. It used to be Sun Sports, and now it's called Bally's.
Yeah, Bally's. Yeah. I think it might be only a local so let me check that.
Okay.
Just to see if it's only your area. Bally's Sports Network. Okay. That ain't it. Bally's Sports. No, each have their own area. There's one in the Midwest. There's one in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So it's divided up into small areas.
Okay. So it's a nationwide thing. It's not just
not really nationwide. I don't think we get it, but it's scattered. I think it's like small market areas.
Okay.
I mean, we have MSG, we have Fox Sports, we have like different sports. So I don't think we would get it.
Well, I mean, you might be right, Lewis. It might just be like like you said, in Tampa, Wisconsin, the Midwest, where you don't have a lot of big media markets. I mean, I don't know obviously the big media markets in the U.S. obviously is L.A. and New York. Those are the two biggest media markets.
Yeah.
And then Vegas can't be too far behind. Even though they only have the.
They need something to replace. They need something to replace NBC Sports because they're leaving at the end of the year.
Okay. Well, and then Disney bought out some of Fox Sports, so I don't know if that has something to do with them changing to Bally's or not.
It might.
I don't know. I mean, I know Disney owns ABC, they own ESPN, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what exactly their plans are with that, but yeah. Let's see. All right.
Yeah, I think it's in. I don't think they get up here, but I think they get in South Jersey if I'm reading the map correctly.
Okay. So all right. Well then, who do you know, Lewis? Because you live up in that area. Who covers the Devils? Are they on Fox? Or are they? Who airs the Devils? Well, who airs the Devils?
It's not, technically Fox, but it's MS. We call it MSG. We have MSG 1, MSG 2. So like if the Knicks are playing on one station, then we have to get the other station to get it in. They kind of like flip flop because we have like 11 different teams in the New York area, and they cover it all. Yeah. So of course I wish they bring it back to like Channel 9 over here because that was the station for sports back then. But they decided, well, let's give like a second MSG channel and whatnot and take care of all that. Shut up, all right? Just shut up.
Well, I mean, so for example, if the Islanders and the Rangers are playing, the Rangers are obviously on MSG, then it would be the Islanders and MSG2, or is say the Knicks
MSG Plus, and then if we need more, then they got the MSG2 and so forth. It depends on how many teams are playing that night. If you have like 3 teams, you're gonna need the 3 channels and whatnot. So, yeah. Of course, they used to, like they said, they used to have all the games on Channel 9, back in the day. Yes, I'm old to remember that.
Well, and then the Yankees have the Yes Network, so the Yankees aren't on MSG at all, right? They have their own.
No, they used to be before they came up with Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
They were on Yes for like 15 years.
Are the Mets are the Mets on MSG, or do the Mets have their
No,
own?
no, the Mets have their own channel.
Oh, okay, Mets have their own channel. Okay.
Sportsnet. They carry the Mets and college football games and whatnot. So, so it works like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Mets they have their own separate network.
All right. Oh, Mets. Okay, so just like the Yankees, they have their own network. Okay.
Right. Sportsnet New York, which is regional because they have it in LA and Chicago and all that stuff. Okay.
Gotcha. Well, as I close out, I always close out this show, Lewis, with college. I like to close it out with the college kids. Nice. So I'm going to start with the guys that call Coral Gables home, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. If you guys do not know, they start their season against the Alabama Crimson Tide, the defending national title champions. So we all know, again, just like in the NFL, after a while, you have to replace your quarterback. The Hurricanes, obviously, now with college guys, you have recruits. And one guy's a senior, he graduates. What do you got to do? You got to replace him with somebody else. You got to recruit him. So it looks like one commitment that the Hurricanes have added is Valdosta Ladon's quarterback, Jakari Brown. So he is committed to coming to Coach Diaz, Manny Diaz in Miami. This is a team, guys, that I think in the ACC is on the cusp. Again, that conference has been dominated, obviously, by the Clemson Tigers. That's the team that's been the dominating factor in that conference.
Right.
For a while now, we had obviously last year you had Notre Dame playing in the conference because they weren't independent.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going back to being independent.
I think they're going back to independent.
They're going back to being independent. Okay, so we won't have the Irish here or in the ACC this year coming up. So,
but they play against a lot of ACC opponents. So yeah, I guess they're just like the ugly stepchild.
Well, my opinion is, to me, in all honesty, when it comes to Notre Dame, I think the conference they best fit in is the Big Ten. They're right there,
yes.
Part of Indiana. The Hoosiers play there. They have Michigan not too far away. They play the Wolverines every once in a while.
Yeah.
So they fit the best in the Big Ten, not the ACC, because the ACC is mostly, Florida State, Miami. It's all mostly Southern teams. So you're going to come all the way from South Bend to play these Southern teams. I mean, they could. I'm not saying that Notre Dame can't.
They have.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think you're right. They should be. I think they belong in the Big Ten.
I do too. Now, again, the one team that the Hurricanes, obviously, being in the state of Florida, their biggest rival is the Florida State Seminoles, who are in the conference with them. So that's a team that obviously they circle. I mean, most Hurricane fans circle that date on their calendar every year. I believe the Hurricanes are starting a series with the Gators here soon. So, again, the whole who wins the Florida battle, because FSU does play Florida every year except for last year because of the COVID, and it was an in-conference thing only. The SEC, obviously, the Gators are in the SEC, the Noles and the Hurricanes are in the ACC, so they didn't play each other last year. But next year, I think not this year, but next year, I think they go back to playing against each other. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, like with everything else, it's going to be who's going to be the quarterback in 2022 for Miami. Looks like they have their guy. Hopefully he works out well. Obviously, they'll be talking a lot about him next spring when spring rolls around next year at this time.
Yes.
Maybe he will be the starting quarterback. So now this spring, they've had 7 practices and allowed 15. Okay, so off-season with scrimmage. So the Hurricanes are off to a good start. They do have, looks like their off-season on April 17th at Hard Rock. So their spring game is coming up in the next couple weeks at Hard Rock.
Did they participate in spring ball or no?
They are. Yes, they are. The game is on April 17th at 11 a.m. on the ACC network. I think that's just a strictly channel we get down here in the South. I don't think the ACC network goes as far as New York or the East Coast or part of the East Coast.
It does.
It does. Okay, it does. Okay.
It does.
Okay. Yeah, so that it'll be all my Hurricane fans out there, it will be on April 17th at 11 a.m. It will be, of course, at home at the Hard Rock Stadium. They share that stadium with the Miami Dolphins. I don't think they play. They play on Saturday. The other team plays on Sunday, so there should be no scheduling conflicts or anything like that. Again, Miami is looking to take a big step forward going into 2021. They did have a solid season a year ago, 8-3 last year for the Hurricanes. Derek King set to return after a strong 2020 campaign where he threw for 2,686 yards with 23 touchdowns and 5 picks. He was pretty good until he got hurt.
Pretty good.
He completed 64% of his passes. He ran for 538 yards and 4 touchdowns. He did have an ACL injury in their bowl game. That's when he got hurt.
Yeah, I remember that.
End of the season. He will have running back Cameron Harris, wide receiver Mike Harley, tight end William Leroy, and offensive line Zion Nelson will all be returning on the offensive side of the ball. So that definitely will help him. The Hurricanes are also returning a bunch of defensive guys, but a lot of their guys, on the show last night, I remember in the top, 32 picks, there were 2 or 3 of them that were supposed to be off the board coming out that were either seniors or have decided to go to the NFL. So Miami's pretty good defensively, as they've been for a long time. They're a very good defensive football team. But, yeah, this is one of those things where I think, they went 8-3. Last year, this team I think needs to go maybe 9-2 this year. Maybe have another solid season. I think I don't think that Manny Diaz is not on the hot seat or anything if the Hurricanes don't go, 9 have another 9-win season, 8-win season. But it's coming close. They got to start winning. Down here, there's to me personally, being a college football fan, the wheel in Florida spins. So what I mean by that is with the big 3, I'm not talking about UCF and USF, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But with Miami, Florida, and Florida State, usually it's one of those 3 teams that is the dominating team. Miami hasn't had that in a while, but I think their time is coming. I really honestly can say I think that the Kings, as they call themselves, the U, will be back on top here soon. And I think Manny Diaz is the right head coach to get the Kings where they were a while back. Now they got in some big trouble, obviously, with recruiting violations and all that stuff, and they're recovering all from that as well. So, but that's a different story altogether. The next team again is the guys that call Tallahassee home, and that's the Florida State Seminoles. Now their stadium, Doak Campbell Stadium, is getting a makeover. They again will be also having spring ball. I think they had their spring game last week. I believe they had their spring game. Let me see here. It's getting some much needed renovations. As we all know, after a while, guys, stadiums, no matter how old they are, they need new things. They need things replaced and everything else. So look for that to be, again, we're hoping as sports, podcasters and writers and all that stuff, we're hoping to have fans there in Tallahassee, wherever you call home, whatever sport you call home, you're hoping, especially college kids and high school kids, depend on fans being there. And hopefully next year we'll be back to where we were prior to 2020, where we were able to go to games and enjoy them without having to worry about getting sick or being around people getting sick or whatever. So this is a team that I think, too, needs to make a big improvement. Coach Norvell had a horrible season last year. This team was in shambles again. And those fans are not the most patient bunch because they've had so many winning seasons under Coach Bobby Bowden. So it's, honestly, they made some changes, obviously, with coaching staff. Obviously, we all know in college when a new coach comes in, you got to give him at least 2 years before you can go ahead and judge him, because you have to be able to let him get his players in here to get his system rolling. So again, we'll have, this is
Yeah.
Coach Norvell came from Memphis out of the AAC. Now, again, he has stepped up because, again, the American is a little bit different. It's not a Power 5 conference where the ACC is a Power 5 conference.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a little there is a little bit different scenario when you're coming out of the AAC, coming out of going to the ACC. So I can see the Noles getting better this year. I don't know if hopefully they'll win 6 games and get to a bowl game. I think that's the ultimate goal in every college football team is to get
to a bowl game you go
to get to a bowl game. That too. I don't, obviously you want to try to get to a big bowl because that's the biggest goal to make sure you get to a big bowl.
You don't want to sell for the Frosted Flake Bowl or or the Tupperware Bowl or
right.
Or my favorite, the Sarsaparilla Bowl. Oh, it's Grasparilla. Yeah. Hey, want to buy some sarsaparilla?
But yeah, I could definitely see Coach Norvell getting the Noles back to where they were, a few years ago, where they were, relevant in the ACC. And somebody needs to knock Clemson off the mountain. I mean, seriously, someone needs
I know.
to knock Clemson off the mountain. And I'm not saying it's going to be Florida State. I think Miami would have a better option doing that. But you never know. It's college football. You never know. You never know what might happen.
And don't forget your personal favorite one, the Cactus Bowl. Hey, let's go to Arizona and buy ourselves a cactus. That's gonna hurt though.
True. My next top guys is boys that call Gainesville home, and that's the Florida Gators. Now there is a article that I caught that says don't sleep on the Gators being the SEC champions in 2021. Yeah. Now, again, guys, remember they made it to the SEC title game last year and lost to the Alabama Crimson Tide in the championship game. They were the East champs. They got over the hump. They finally beat Georgia, which is a team, but then they had the way that they finished their season last year, losing to LSU at the end on a stupid penalty, then losing.
That was dumb.
Yeah, then losing. Then Georgia it was a close game there at the end, and then getting blown out by Oklahoma when you have half your players sitting the game out. But still they got blown out there in the end, in the Sugar Bowl. So now again, this team is going to lose Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, Kadarius Toney are 3 big weapons. They're all going to the NFL, guys. All of them. Kyle Pitts will probably go in the top 15 if he's available. If a team needs a tight end, I could see him going, near the top. Kyle Trask, he might be a guy you get late in the first round or maybe a second round team that needs a quarterback. I mean, do the Buccaneers take a shot at him at 32? I don't know. I mean, it depends on what they're going to do because they're going to have to draft a quarterback. Brady's not going to play forever. They're going to have to get a backup. And again, I was just talking before you come
think
up.
He won't play forever?
No, he won't play forever. I think he's got 2 years left. I think that's about all. Maybe a third year there. But I think just 2 more years. I think he'll
hang him up.
He'll be done. Yeah. Before you came on, I was talking about the Bucs possibly going after Ian Book out of Notre Dame. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be a shock. I think that would be something of a surprise if the Bucs went after him.
He's a good quarterback, though.
Well, I don't know really if he would fit into the because Bruce Arians' system is basically the pocket passing quarterbacks. He's not his offense is not set up for a rushing quarterback, and Book can run.
Right.
Book uses his legs to run, as we saw at Notre Dame. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can change it. I definitely wouldn't want to change his style. I would hate to have a quarterback who's used to using his legs, more mobile, have to change his style being on an NFL team. But, I mean, for the Gators, again, the last year, I think the biggest thing for them with the defense was the problem a year ago. They gave up a lot of points. Todd Grantham's going to have, his hands full with them getting that defense back. They were also known as DBU, which, if you guys do not know, means Defensive Back University.
Right.
They have to get better defensively. Offensively, I think they're going to be fine. I will hopefully see them in person as they host the USF Bowl. They will be playing here on September 11th against USF. that's their home opener for the Bulls is against the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that if there is 75 or 60% fans, that game will be all sold out. I don't see a ticket being available because I think the Gator fans will buy the tickets and come down from Gainesville to watch against USF. So here are the possible starters for Florida this year. At cornerback, he's got Kyer Elam and Jaden Hill as his starting cornerbacks. Backups would be Patrick Moore and Jason Marshall Jr. Depth guys would be Avery Helm, Javaria Rogers, Ethan Pouncey, and Jordan Young. Star, S-T-A-R, he has Travis Johnson. Backup would be Kamar Wilkinson. Okay, I'm going to go through and go to offense here real quick. Vontrell Miller, well, yeah, he's a good linebacker. That's going to be nice having him back. Bunsen and Wingo will be his backups. Let's see here. That's defense. Let's see. I think this is all defensive guys. So the defense definitely will have to be better this year, I think, for the Gators. If they're going to get to the SEC championship or going to be the SEC title, they're going to have to get better defensively if that's going to be the particular thing. The next team I cover will be the UCF Knights, and that's Central Florida. In case you're driving around my area or you're down here in the state of Florida, I want to let you know that this team has put billboards in the middle of the state advertising how far away the billboard is from the University of Central Florida to get you to come to their football games. And that's what they've done. Let me go ahead and tell you where these billboards are at because I've seen one personally myself. I drive by it every day coming home from work. Now, here we are. They have one in South Florida on I-95 in Pompano Beach. They have another one in South Florida on the Palmetto Expressway in Hialeah. They have one on the Florida Turnpike in Dade in Brevard County. Now, guys, Brevard County, if you don't know where Brevard, that's Miami. Dade County is Miami, Florida. That's how far away. Miami's is at least, I would say, at least a 4 to 5 hour, probably a 4-hour drive from Orlando, maybe 5 to Orlando. So, again, that's how far away they put a billboard. In Tampa, on I-275 west into downtown. The one that I pass is on I-75 east into downtown. They have one there. Jacksonville, they have one on I-95. That's a big interstate that runs through Jacksonville. They have one in Gainesville. Obviously, they're trying to, that one went live on March 15th. They have one in Tallahassee, which is that's where the Knowles play. And they have 12 of them in their home city in Orlando. And in Atlanta, Georgia, guys, they have 10 of them in Atlanta, Georgia. So they're advertising UCF Knights football in Atlanta, where close to where the Georgia Bulldogs play in Duluth. But still, that's interesting that they have them out of state. So that's what they've done under, they got a new head coach, Gus Malzahn. He left, he got fired from Auburn. He's down here. It's not going to be the same UCF. That UCF, if you don't know, had that high power offense. They ran the ball up and down. They were very quick. They were upbeat offense. They had a weak defense, but they scored enough points to beat you. And that's what the UCF Knights did. So, again, it's going to be a new, different year. Obviously, Josh Heupel, who was their head coach, is now in Tennessee. He left with their athletic director, who also went to Tennessee. Both of them left at the same time or near the same time to go to Tennessee. I wish the Heupel and them good luck. You're leaving the AAC to play in the SEC and the SEC East, where the Gators and the Bulldogs call home. So I wish them the best of luck in that division. Now, I think Gus Malzahn will do a great job for UCF. I think it's going to be a different style of offense and a different team for the Knights. I still think that they could be favored to win the AAC. Memphis is going to be one of those teams that will surprise you. So we'll see how the division plays out. Yeah. But for the most part, I think this UCF team will be right back at the top of the AAC yet again this year. And it's interesting that they, again, put billboards in different cities to lure you away from whatever team you cheer for to cheer for them in Orlando, Florida. So good on them. that's good on them trying to get their team out there. So good on them that they did that. And I always close with the USF Bulls. I got to go to their spring game last Saturday afternoon at Raymond James Stadium. Guys, they usually play on their campus. This year, they played at Raymond James Stadium, where they call home. Again, they share that stadium with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was interesting to see spring football just come back. I mean, we didn't have any spring games last year. No one did because of COVID. We're unable to do that. The green team beat the white team 31-21. The game started off with a 50-yard connection from who I think will be the starting quarterback in Cade Fortin, hooking up with Xavier Weaver on a 50-yard pass. It was a beautiful pass, by the way. Good way to start the spring game off. The people that were in attendance were all jumping up and excited. So, again, if you do not know, USF does start on the road against NC State. Then they come here on September 11th to play the Florida Gators. The significant part that day is how fast, if you guys remember, that's 9/11, and it will be 20 years this year that terrible day happened in the city of New York, in Pennsylvania, and all around the world was affected by what happened here on that day in 2001. But again, that will be, I'm sure that they will be having some kind of, moment of silence or something for all the people that lost their lives that day. And still the people that are still losing their lives, all the firefighters and police officers that are still alive that have health issues now from doing what they do, doing their job, doing what they do, what they love to do. So again, it's sad, but again, that's a day that I think none of us will ever forget. If you were alive that day, I don't see how you could ever forget that day. I know there have been other days like that, like the day that President Kennedy was shot. Pearl Harbor obviously was another one. But I'm just saying there have been other days too like that, which just hopefully we don't ever have to.
In our lifetime, though.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't have to go through another one of those type of situations in the near future. Hopefully we're clear of that. One of the USF Bulls that is trying to get to the NFL is KJ Sales. He had his pro day. I think it went very, very well for him. Now, Sales is a very good community guy. He was actually mayor for a day in Tampa, and he said that he hopes one day to be a mayor. That was what he said he wanted to do. If his football career comes up, he wanted to be a mayor. So that's a good luck to KJ Sales and the rest of the USF Bulls who are trying to get to the next level. But then again, guys, that is it for me to close out my show. But before I do that, let me go back here and bring this back up. Again, the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, guys, is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app for your ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? And guys, before I go, I'm going to give Lewis a chance to spot his show. He has a show, guys, every Saturday, so I'm going to give him the floor to give you the information on his show.
All right, thanks, Bradley. It's called thesabersAreAwful.com. No, got him with the spit take. Got him.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
The enhanced.
I got to read an article about the Sabres tomorrow, so I'm glad that you brought that.
Boy. Yeah. All right. The Enhanced Sports Show. We're on Saturdays. Now, keep this in mind, guys. This is East Coast time.
East Coast
5 to 7 p.m. I know Florida's 2 time zones, so I just want to make that clear.
Right.
Really do. Hard to believe. The number is 512-543-4662. I'll repeat that again, 512-543-4662. We're going to be handling the Final Four tomorrow. Absolutely. I'll take predictions on that. It's going to be a fairly interesting 2 games. I'll even cover the NIT because they had their final over this past week as well. the women's Final Four, which is going on now as we speak. I thought it was Sunday and Tuesday, but it's actually Friday and Sunday. Okay. We'll also cover we'll cover a little bit of Pro Day in the NFL. We have our monthly standings, and we have some special features as well. Some that I came up with myself, such as the no, I really did. With the Liar Sire Sports, this week in sports history, and I actually have a book right here. Oh, I have a hint underneath. I actually had this referred to for the basic sports history right here. Oh, I don't know if Bradley can see it or not. It's called the Bathroom Sports Almanac. No, I did not make that up. I wish I did, but and that's where we get our research from for the sports dates. So if you got time between 5 and 7 East Coast time tomorrow, give the show a call. You got nothing to lose. So maybe self-respect, nerve, dignity, pride, none of the important stuff. But Bradley's been on it actually, so trust me. So if you got time, before you do like shopping for the Easter holiday or whatnot, give a call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, guys, head on over there. He does have a great show. And again, if you don't know, guys, he's one of my co-hosts on my show on Thursday night. So
yes,
it's been awesome to have him on here on Friday night. Again, this will be my show night here. The only time that I'm ever going to not have it if I'm on vacation. I do have another podcast that I'm part of every once in a while, so it'll be on nights that I don't have that. But I'll make the show up. I'll have it another day during that week, so I won't lose the show. Guys, this has been the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. I am the sports sir, Bradley Walker. This is part of NGSC Sports. Remember the website, guys. It's ngscsports.com. If you want to see this show in its entirety, head on over to my YouTube page, the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker. And also the Walker Report, the show that Lewis is on with me last night, is also on there in its entirety. We talk about all sports on that show, guys. This show is just strictly Florida sports, so I kind of stick to that topic. If you guys did not know, this show used to be called the Tampa Talk, where I just talked about Tampa, and I was able to expand it to the entire state of Florida. So that's how it became what it is called now. It was under a different network. Mancini Sports Network is where it all started, and then I left and came back to NGSC where my show was before, and now it's on In the Zone where Lewis's show is, and on In the Zone Sports Radio. So that's where everything goes. But
I also pass shows in the archives as well. So if you can't do it live, go to past conferences where you have to see Enhanced Sports Show, and you can look at it. You can listen to it for past shows and see what you can just rent for yourself.
Yes. And before I go, guys, as I always do, I want to thank the first responders, doctors, and nurses who have been the true heroes since the pandemic started a year ago back in March. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Also to our soldiers, both men and both active, retired, and the ones who have left us, both male and female. Thank you guys for what you do. I wouldn't be able to do 3 podcasts a week if it wasn't for what you guys do, all your sacrifice. So thank you to everybody that sacrifices their life for our country and for us, that gives us a chance to be free and do this every day, every week, every month, every year. So thank you for letting us do that. To our domestic soldiers, guys, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, thank you as well for keeping us safe domestically. Guys, I'm gonna roll out of here. I want to say thank you guys for anyone that popped in here. Thanks, Lewis, for joining me on Friday night. This will be the permanent home. I'll be back next week on this show, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next time you'll see me, guys, will be on the Bullseye Show with Larry Frank Tuesday night. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I'll be back with this man right here on the Walker Report next week, next Thursday, as we talk about the Final Four. I think the championship game will have been done by then. We can talk about the ladies and the men's Final Four. We talk about the college hockey. No, college hockey's next week. No, I think the week after.
Next Saturday.
Okay, so we'll have to wait to talk about them. But guys, if you want, I'm hoping to try to get my WWE insider John Blaine to join us to talk about WrestleMania. That's coming up next weekend. here in Tampa. That's a Tampa thing, so I'll probably be covering that next Friday night, kind of giving you a preview of the 2-night special. It's a 2-night thing. It's not one night. It's 2 nights that the WWE is having WrestleMania. So I'll be talking about that next week. But guys, until then, everyone, please stay safe out there. Follow your state guidelines with your mask. Get your vaccine if you want to. No one's forcing you. If you want to get it, get it. If you get an opportunity to get it, I know I'll be getting mine as soon as I can. But until then, guys, everyone stay safe. This has been the Sunshine State Sports Jabber, and I am out of here. Peace.
And watch Foes Bias Slams at WrestleMania. Ooh.